Chicago Vengeance of 2022 event by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to another great night for wrestling, said announcer number 1. Yes, it is. And I can't wait to see if we get new champions. Or will the champions be able to retain their titles? Asked announcer number 2. Well, let's head down to the ring for our very first match of the night, said announcer number 1. Man, I can't wait any longer, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a steel cage match, and is for the ladies' championship. Introducing the challengers first, Desire, and her opponent, she is the ladies' champion, Gemini, said announcer number 3. Gemini hands the title to referee number 1. Referee number 1 raises the title, walks towards the ropes, goes through them, then goes down the steel stairs. The cage door shuts. Bell dings. Desire runs, then starts climbing up the ropes. Gemini runs at Desire, then grabs her right leg. Desire is trying to get out of the cage quickly, said announcer number 1. She's trying, but Gemini is stopping her, said announcer number 2. Let's hope Gemini doesn't make a mistake, said announcer number 1. Desire pushes Gemini backwards, then continues climbing up the ropes. Gemini quickly climbs up the ropes, then hits Desire's back. Desire groans. Well, Gemini got Desire now, said announcer number 2. Gemini is punching Desire. Desire is groaning. Gemini grabs Desire's head, then goes to bounce it off the cage wall. Desire blocks, then elbows Gemini's stomach. Gemini groans. Desire goes to bounce Gemini's head off the cage wall. Gemini blocks, then punches Desire's left side. Desire groans. Neither of these women want to hit their heads off that cage wall, which is a smart move, said announcer number 1. Both Desire and Gemini continuously punch each other. Desire kicks Gemini's right leg. Gemini gets hung up onto the top rope, then groans. Oh, Gemini lands onto the top rope, said announcer number 2. Hurts just like a man does, said announcer number 1. Desire is smiling, then goes to climb up the cage wall. Gemini moves Desire's left leg. Desire gets hung up onto the top rope, then groans. Oh, Desire lands onto the top rope too, said announcer number 2. Both Desire and Gemini fall onto the mat, slowly stand up, then continuously punch each other. Here comes a slugfest, said announcer number 1. Desire goes to punch Gemini. Gemini ducks. Desire bounces off of the ropes. Gemini drop kicks Desire. Desire groans. What a beautiful drop kick, said announcer number 1. Gemini stands up, then walks towards the cage door. Gemini wants to end this now, said announcer number 2. The cage door opens. Desire stands up, then hits Gemini's back. Gemini groans. Desire continuously hitting Gemini's back. Gemini falls onto mat. Desire continuously kicking Gemini. Desire is taking it to Gemini, said announcer number 1. Desire looks at referee number 1. Shut the door, said Desire. The cage door shuts. Desire just said, and quat, shut the door, and quat. Is that a smart move? Asked announcer number 2. Maybe. She knows Gemini might get back up, said announcer number 1. Desire kicks Gemini's right side. Gemini groans. Desire picks Gemini up, then chops her chest. Gemini groans, then falls onto her knees. Desire picks Gemini up, then whips her hard into the corner. Gemini goes into the corner, falls onto the mat, then groans. Man, Gemini hit the corner hard, said announcer number 2. Desire is smiling. Stands up, then starts climbing up the ropes. Desire is making her escape, said announcer number 1. Wouldn't it be smarter to go through the cage door? Asked announcer number 2. Some people like the climb better, said announcer number 1. Desire continues climbing. Gemini stands up, walks towards the ropes, climbs up them, then grabs Desire's right leg. Desire is struggling, then looks down at Gemini. Gemini just stopped Desire from going over the top, said announcer number 2. Gemini pulls Desire down. Desire punches Gemini. Gemini groans, then punches Desire. Desire groans, then punches Gemini. Gemini is swaying on the top rope. Gemini is swaying, said announcer number 1. Desire grabs Gemini's head, then goes to bounce it off the cage wall. Gemini blocks, then elbows Desire's stomach. Desire groans. Gemini grabs Desire's head, then goes to bounce it off the cage wall. Desire blocks, then elbows Gemini's stomach. Gemini groans. Both women are really trying not to be slammed into the cage, said announcer number 2. Would you? Asked announcer number 1. Good point, said announcer number 2. Both Desire and Gemini are punching each other. Gemini is swaying. Desire pushes Gemini off top rope. Gemini lands onto her feet. Great balance by Gemini, said announcer number 1. Gemini looks up. Desire jumps off the top rope, then does a crossbody onto Gemini. Gemini groans. What a crossbody, said announcer number 2. Desire is leaning on the bottom rope, then looks at Gemini. Gemini slowly moving. Both Desire and Gemini stand up. Desire grabs Gemini from behind, then runs towards the cage wall. Gemini reverses. It then throws Desire into the cage wall. Desire groans, then falls onto the mat. Oh man, Desire just went into the cage wall, said announcer number 1. Desire is holding her face. Gemini stands up, walks towards the ropes, then starts climbing up. Then Gemini is making her escape, said announcer number 2. Desire slowly stands, runs, then grabs Gemini's right leg. Gemini is struggling. Desire tries pulling Gemini's right leg down. Gemini lands onto her feet. Desire goes to punch Gemini. Gemini ducks. Desire turns around. Gemini goes for a jumping cutter. Desire pushes Gemini. Gemini staggers forward, turns around, then runs at Desire. Desire sidesteps Gemini, then throws her into the cage wall. Gemini groans, then falls onto the mat. Gemini just went face first into the cage wall, said announcer number 1. Desire is doing better than I thought, said announcer number 2. Well, she learned from her friend Divine when she was a champion, said announcer number 1. Desire stands up, then chops Gemini's chest. Gemini groans. Desire bounces Gemini off of the ropes, then does a back elbow onto her. Gemini groans. Desire bounces off of the ropes, then does an elbow drop onto Gemini. Gemini groans. Desire has taken over the match, said announcer number 2. Desire stands up, then holds out her arms. Who's the best? I'm gonna be the one to take your title. I'm the one. Gemini, say goodbye to your reign as champion, said Desire smiling, then slowly walks towards the cage door. The cage door opens. Desire's gonna do it. She's gonna be a champion, said announcer number 1. Desire starts to go through the middle rope. Gemini stands up, then continuously hits Desire's back. Desire continuously groaning. Shut the door, said Gemini. The cage door shuts. Gemini bounces Desire off of the ropes, then clotheslines her. Desire groans, then stands up. Gemini lifts Desire, then slams her onto the mat. Desire groans again. Gemini has control now, said announcer number 2. Gemini bounces off of the ropes. Jumps up, then does a knee drop onto Desire's head. Desire groans, then holds her head. Gemini is building momentum. And I think I know what's coming up next, said announcer number 1. Gemini looks at Desire, then waves at her. Desire slowly standing up, then turns around. Gemini goes for a jumping cutter onto Desire. Desire blocks, then bends Gemini backwards. Here comes Desire's finisher, said announcer number 2. Gemini is struggling, then rolls Desire forward. Desire stands up, then turns around. Gemini goes for a jumping cutter onto Desire again. Desire blocks again, grabs Gemini from behind. Runs, then throws her through the second rope. Gemini goes into the cage wall, then groans. Oh man! Gemini just went right into the cage wall, said announcer number 1. Desire is staring at Gemini. Smiles, looks at the cage door, stands up, then slowly walks towards it. Desire has become the new ladies champion, said announcer number 2. Desire stops, holds out her arms, then spins into a circle. Get out of the cage, Desire. Stop wasting time, said announcer number 1. Desire opens her eyes, then goes to walk forward. Gemini quickly stands up, then does a jumping cutter onto Desire. Desire groans. And quat, horoscope and quat, connects out of nowhere, said announcer number 2. Gemini shakes her head, stands up, goes through the middle ropes, then walks down the steel stairs. Bell dings. Here's your winner and still the ladies champion, Gemini, said announcer number 3. The crowd is cheering. Congratulations to Gemini. She retained her title, said announcer number 1. Yeah, but you've got to hand it to Desire. She almost became the champion a few times. Especially at the end of the match, said announcer number 2. That's true, but Desire thought about her ego. If she never stopped, she'd be the champion right now. She has only herself to blame, said announcer number 1. I agree with you on that, said announcer number 2. Well folks, we now move on to our US Continental Championship match, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a tables match, and is for the US Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers first, Magician. And his opponent, he is the US Continental Champion, Ursus, said announcer number 3. Referee number 2 raises the title, walks towards the ropes, then hands it to number 1. Bell dings. Both Magician and Ursus lock up. Ursus pushes Magician. Magician falls onto the mat, then looks up at Ursus. Come on, get up. Magician stands up. Come on. Both Magician and Ursus lock up again. Ursus pushes Magician. Magician rolls backwards. Kneels on the mat, then looks at Ursus. Come on, show me how tough you are, said Ursus. Magician stands up, shrugs his shoulders, then kicks Ursus's stomach. Ursus groans. Magician continuously punching Ursus. Ursus continuously staggers backwards. Magician runs, then bounces off of the ropes. Ursus clotheslines Magician. Magician groans. Man, Ursus is strong. What does Magician have to do against the champion? Asked announcer number 2. Whatever he could think of, said announcer number 1. Ursus picks Magician up, lifts, then slams him onto the mat. Magician groans. Ursus runs, bounces off of the ropes, jumps up, then goes for an elbow drop onto Magician. Magician moves. Ursus lands onto the mat, then groans. Oh, first mistake by Ursus. Now Magician could take over, said announcer number 2. Ursus sits up onto the mat. Magician bounces off of the ropes then dropkick Ursus. Ursus groans. Great! Now get a table, Magician, said announcer number 1. Magician goes through the middle rope, grabs a table, then slides it into the ring. Ursus is slowly standing up. Magician slides into the ring, stands up, then runs at Ursus. Ursus clotheslines Magician. Magician groans. Man, what a clothesline by Ursus, said announcer number 2. Ursus sets up the table. Ursus wants to end this, said announcer number 1. Magician slowly stands up. Ursus approaches Magician. Magician punches Ursus's stomach. Ursus groans then. Knees Magician's head. Magician groans. Man, right to the head. Magician could have a concussion. The rest of the match, said announcer number 2. If this match even continues, because it looks like Ursus is gonna powerbomb Magician through the table, said announcer number 1. Ursus sets Magician up for a powerbomb then lifts him up. Magician punches Ursus's head. Ursus is groaning then lifts Magician up higher. Magician lands onto his feet behind Ursus. Ursus turns around then runs at Magician. Magician dropkicks Ursus's right knee. Ursus's head goes into the top turnbuckle, then he groans. Oh, Ursus just went into the turnbuckle, said announcer number 2. Smart move by Magician, said announcer number 1. Ursus continues groaning then turns around. Magician continuously kicking Ursus. Ursus continuously groaning. Magician looks at the table, pulls Ursus out of the corner then sets him up for a suplex. Is Magician stupid? He can't lift Ursus, said announcer number 2. You'd be surprised with some people, said announcer number 1. Magician tries lifting Ursus. Ursus blocks. Magician tries lifting Ursus again. Ursus blocks again, moves his arm then lifts Magician onto his right shoulder. Magician is struggling, lands onto his feet behind Ursus then bounces off of the ropes. Ursus does a spinning heel kick onto Magician. Wow, what a spinning heel kick by Ursus, said announcer number 2. Ursus slowly stands up, goes through the middle rope then grabs a second table. Here comes another table, said announcer number 1. Ursus slides the second table into the ring, rolls inside it, stands up, sets up the second table then places it into the corner. Ursus has an idea, said announcer number 2. Ursus walks towards Magician is slowly moving. Ursus picks Magician up then whips him. Magician stops in front of the table in the corner then turns around. Ursus runs at Magician. Magician moves. Ursus stops in front of the table in the corner. That was a close one by Ursus, said announcer number 1. Ursus turns around. Magician dropkicks Ursus. Ursus is swaying. Oh my god, Ursus is swaying next to the table, said announcer number 2. Magician stands up then dropkicks Ursus again. Ursus continues swaying. Magician stands up, runs, bounces off of the ropes then goes towards Ursus. Ursus lifts Magician onto his right shoulder then does a running power slam onto him. What a running power slam by Ursus, said announcer number 1. Ursus stands up, grabs Magician then bounces his head off the table. Magician groans. Ursus places Magician onto the table. Magician is groaning. Ursus goes through the middle rope then climbs up the turnbuckle. Oh no, if Ursus does this, Magician will be out for a long time, said announcer number 2. They both could, actually. Ursus never really goes to the top rope, said announcer number 1. Ursus gets to the top turnbuckle then looks down at Magician laying on the table. Magician quickly stands up then continuously punches Ursus. Urses. Continuously groaning. Magician climbs onto the second rope, then sets Urses up for a suplex. No way. You've already tried this. You can't lift him, said announcer number 2. Magician tries lifting. Urses. Urses blocks the suplex. Magician tries lifting Ursus again. Ursus blocks the suplex again. Then hits Magician's left side. Magician is groaning. Ursus pushes Magician off the second rope. Magician lands onto his feet. Ursus places his feet onto the second rope. Magician turns around. Then dropkicks Ursus. Ursus groans, then sways. Magician wraps his arms around Ursus's legs. What is Magician doing? Asked announcer number 1. Magician lifts Ursus up for a powerbomb. Oh my God, Magician lifted Ursus, said announcer number 2. Magician slowly walks backwards. It looks like he's struggling. Asked announcer number 1. Magician collapses. Ursus falls onto Magician's, then his torso goes through the table. Beldings. Here's your winner and the new U.S. Continental Champion, Magician, said announcer number 3. I can't believe it. Magician is our new U.S. Continental Champion. And he doesn't even know it, said announcer number 2. Magician is slowly moving, then looks around. Referee number 2 hands the title to Magician. Magician grabs the title, rolls outside of the ring, then raises it. Ursus is slowly moving, holds his left arm, then looks up at Magician. That's right, Ursus. You lost your title too, Magician. And we're as shocked as you are, said announcer number 1. I can't believe the strength of Magician. He lifted Ursus a few feet until he collapsed, said announcer number 2. That was very impressive. Congratulations to our new U.S. Continental Champion, Magician. Now we move to our next match for the Tag Team Championships, said announcer number 1. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a TLC match, and is for the Tag Team Championships. Introducing the challengers first. Slayer and the Guns. And their opponents, they are the Tag Team Champions, Hellfire and Morphos, said announcer number 3. Referee number 3 raises the titles, then straps them onto a hook. The hook is being raised. Beldings. The Guns goes through the middle rope, then walks towards the ladders. Morphos rolls outside of the ring, then approaches the Guns. The Guns turns around. Morphos punches the Guns. The Guns groans. Slayer punches Hellfire. Hellfire is groaning, then goes to punch Slayer. Slayer ducks, then punches Hellfire. Hellfire looks at Slayer. Slayer bounces off of the ropes, then runs at Hellfire. Hellfire boots Slayer. Slayer groans, then rolls underneath the ropes. What a boot by Hellfire, said announcer number 2. Morphos whips the Guns. The Guns reverses it. Morphos goes into steel stairs, then groans. The Guns is laughing. Hellfire grabs the Guns' head, then pulls him onto the ledge of the ring. The Guns is struggling, grabs Hellfire's head, then hangs him off the top rope. Hellfire groans, then turns around. Slayer slides into the ring, then dropkicks Hellfire. Hellfire goes through the middle rope, then lands onto the floor. What a dropkick by Slayer, said announcer number 1. The Guns slides a ladder into the ring. Slayer picks up the ladder, then sets it up. Are we gonna have new tag team champions right now? Asked announcer number 2. The Guns climbs up the ladder. Morphos slides into the ring. Slayer continuously punches Morphos. Morphos continuously groaning. Slayer bounces Morphos off of the ropes. Morphos reverses it. Slayer holds onto ropes. Morphos runs then clotheslines Slayer over the top rope. Slayer lands onto the floor. Nice clothesline, said announcer number 1. But Guns is at the top of the ladder, said announcer number 2. The Guns reaches for the titles. Morphos climbs up the opposite side of the ladder. The Guns looks down at Morphos then swings his fist. Morphos is leaning backwards. The Guns groans then reaches for the titles. Morphos gets to the top of the ladder then punches the Guns. The Guns groans then punches Morphos. Morphos groans. Hellfire slides into the ring then grabs the ladder. No, 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 said both Morphos and the Guns. Hellfire pushes the ladder. Both Morphos and the Guns get hung up onto the top rope then fall onto the mat. Hellfire was smart. There, said announcer number 1. Really? Why? Asked announcer number 2. To make sure Guns didn't grab the title, said announcer number 1. Oh, I see, said announcer number 1. Hellfire sets up the ladder then starts climbing up it. Slayer slides into the ring, stands up, picks up the steel chair then swings it. The steel chair hits Hellfire's back. Hellfire groans. Slayer swings the steel chair again. The steel chair hits Hellfire's back again. Hellfire falls off the ladder, groans then turns around. Slayer swings the steel chair a third time. The steel chair hits Hellfire's head. Hellfire falls onto the mat, then rolls outside of the ring. Man, what devastating chair shots, said announcer number 2. Slayer drops the steel chair then looks up at the title. That's all you need to do, Slayer. Climb the ladder, said announcer number 1. Slayer starts climbing up the ladder, gets to the top of it then reaches for the titles. He's got them. We're about to have new tag champions, said announcer number 2. Morphos climbs the ladder then gets to the top. Slayer goes to punch Morphos. Morphos blocks then punches Slayer. Slayer groans then sways on top of the ladder. Morphos punches Slayer again. Slayer continues swaying on the top of the ladder, gets his balance then punches Morphos. Morphos groans then sways on the top of the ladder. Only one could win this slugfest, said announcer number 1. The Guns stands up then grabs the steel chair. Guns has the chair, said announcer number 2. Hellfire is climbing onto the ledge of the ring. The Guns goes to swing the steel chair. Hellfire grabs the Guns by his throat. The Guns is struggling then drops the steel chair. Hellfire tightens his grip. The Guns continue struggling, grabs Hellfire's right arm then hangs it off the top rope. Hellfire groans. Hellfire just got hung up, said announcer number 1. The Guns grabs the steel chair then swings it. The steel chair hits Hellfire's back again. Hellfire falls off the ledge of the ring, lands into the barricade, then groans. Morphos is shaking the ladder. The ladder tips. Both Morphos and Slayer land onto the top rope then groan. Oh, both Morphos and Slayer landed on the top rope. Hopefully they didn't want more children, said announcer number 2. Both Morphos and Slayer fall onto the ledge of the ring then roll onto the floor. The Guns drops the steel chair then looks up at the titles. Guns is the only one left, said announcer number 1. The Guns sets up the ladder then climbs up it. Guns is gonna be a tag champion, said announcer number 2. Hellfire slides into the ring, stands up then grabs the steel chair. The Guns reaches for the titles. Hellfire throws the steel chair at the Guns. The Guns groans. Hellfire picks up the steel chair then throws it at the Guns. Again. The steel chair hits the Guns again. The Guns groans then falls off of the ladder. What a smart move by Hellfire, said announcer number 1. The guns stands up then turns around. Hellfire swings the steel chair. The steel chair hits the guns' head. The guns falls onto the mat then rolls towards the ropes. Hellfire throws the steel chair. Hellfire is mad now, said announcer number 2. Hellfire looks up at the titles then starts to climb up the ladder. Hellfire is gonna grab the titles. There's no one to stop him, said announcer number 1. Slayer slides into the ring, grabs the steel chair then throws it at Hellfire. Hellfire groans. Slayer picks up the steel chair then throws it at Hellfire again. The steel chair hits Hellfire. Hellfire groans, falls off of the ladder, lands onto his feet then turns around. Slayer superkicks Hellfire. Hellfire groans, falls through the middle rope then lands onto the floor. Slayer starts climbing up the ladder. Morpho slides into the ring, grabs Slayer's right leg then pulls him off of the ladder. Slayer lands onto his feet then goes to punch Morphos. Morphos ducks then continuously punches Slayer. Slayer continuously staggers backwards then leans against the ropes. The gun slides into the ring, turns Morphos around then goes to punch him. Morphos blocks then continuously punches the guns. The guns continuously groaning. Slayer turns Morphos. Morphos punches Slayer then continuously turns and punches both Slayer and the guns. Morphos is on a roll, said announcer number 2. Morphos punches the guns. The guns goes through the middle rope. Slayer goes to punch Morphos. Morphos ducks, runs, bounces off of the ropes then does a flying clothesline onto Slayer. Slayer groans, then stands up. Morphos does an inverted atomic drop onto Slayer. Slayer groans. Morphos kicks Slayer's stomach. Slayer bends over. Morphos bounces off of the ropes. Here comes the Famazer, said announcer number 1. The guns drop kicks Morphos. Morphos groans. What a drop kick out of nowhere, said announcer number 2. The guns pats Slayer's back. You okay? Asked the guns. Yeah, said Slayer. Superkick his head off, said the guns. Morphos slowly stands up then turns around. Slayer superkicks Morphos. Morphos falls onto the mat then groans. The guns bounces off of the ropes. Jumps up then does a curb stomp onto Morphos. Morphos goes limp. Morphos is out, said announcer number 1. Alright, let's get those titles, said Slayer. Wait, I want to make sure he's completely out, said the guns. How? Asked Slayer. The guns grabs the steel chair then places it underneath Morphos' head. Oh no, not this again, said announcer number 2. Hold him up, said the guns. Slayer picks Morphos up. The guns smiles, runs then bounces off of the ropes. Hellfire boots the guns. Slayer looks up at Hellfire. Hellfire continuously punching Slayer. Slayer continuously groaning then leans against the ropes. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto Slayer. Slayer goes over the top rope then lands onto the floor. The guns picks up the steel chair, stands then swings it. The steel chair hits Hellfire's back. Hellfire groans, stands up straight then turns around. The guns' eyes widen. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto the guns. The guns groans. Hellfire whips the guns into the corner, runs then does a corner body splash onto him. The guns groans then walks out of the corner. Hellfire lifts the guns, then does a sidewalk slam onto him. The guns groans. Hellfire has taken over, said announcer number 1. Hellfire goes through the middle rope then climbs up the turnbuckle. Slayer climbs onto the ledge of the ring, then pushes Hellfire off the top turn. Buckle. Hellfire lands onto his feet, then looks at Slayer. Slayer is holding out his arms, turns around, then sees Hellfire. Hellfire grabs Slayer by his throat. Slayer gasps. Hellfire lifts Slayer, then chokeslams him through a table. "Oh my! This table was already set up out here," said announcer number 2. Hellfire turns around. The guns dropkicks Hellfire's left knee. Hellfire falls onto his knees. "Oh no, look where Hellfire is." "Next to the chair," said announcer number 1. The guns runs, bounces off of the ropes, jumps up, then goes for a curb stomp onto Hellfire. Hellfire moves. The guns' right foot lands onto the steel chair, then he groans. "I think Guns tweaked his ankle," said announcer number 2. Hellfire stands up. The Guns turns around. Hellfire grabs the Guns by his throat. The Guns gasps. Hellfire lifts the Guns, then chokeslams him. The Guns groans, then rolls underneath the ropes. "What a chokeslam," said announcer number 1. Hellfire sets up the ladder, then climbs up it. "Hellfire's climbing the ladder, and there's no one to stop him," said announcer number 2. Hellfire gets to the top of the ladder. "Grab them, Hellfire," said announcer number 1. Hellfire reaches for the titles, grabs, then unhooks them. "Beldings, here are your winners and still the tag team champions, Hellfire and Morphos," said announcer number 3. "I can't believe that. They retained their titles. And Morphos was almost hurt worse," said announcer number 2. "Yes, he was. But congratulations to Hellfire and Morphos on a well-fought match," said announcer number 1. Morphos hugs Hellfire. Hellfire pats Morphos' back, then hands a title to him. Morphos raises the title. "I'm so surprised they pulled this off," said announcer number 2. "They're a great team." "Well, folks, we've made it to the main event," said announcer number 1. "Beldings, this match is scheduled for one fall, is a Falls Count Anywhere match, and is for the Galaxy Championship. Introducing the challengers first, Paragon, and his opponent. He is the Galaxy Champion, Dread," said announcer number 3. Referee number 4 raises the title, walks towards the ropes, then hands it to number 1. "Beldings, hey, you listen to me. I'm gonna win this match. Do you hear me? This is my title. Your reign ends right now," said Paragon. "Alright. Fight me then," said Dread. Paragon is laughing. Fight you? You don't think I could?" "I could beat you in less than a minute," said Paragon. "Do it," said Dread. Paragon slaps Dread. Dread groans, then turns around. Paragon rolls Dread up. 1, 2. Dread kicks out. 2, said referee number 4. Paragon almost had Dread there, said announcer number 2. He said, and quot, he could beat him in a minute. "Let's see," said announcer number 1. Dread stands up, then turns around. Paragon dropkicks Dread. Dread groans. Paragon covers Dread. 1, 2. Dread kicks out. 2, said referee number 4. "Count faster, ref," said Paragon. "Almost had him again. Dread ain't focused," said announcer number 2. Paragon rolls outside of the ring, lifts the ring skirt, then pulls out a steel chair. "This will finish it," said Paragon, banging his hand against the steel chair, then slides into the ring. Dread stands up, then turns around. Paragon swings the steel chair. Dread ducks. Paragon turns around. Dread kicks Paragon's stomach, sets him up, then does a DDT onto him. Paragon groans. A DDT connects, said announcer number 1. Dredd stands up, then grabs the steel chair. Dredd has the chair now, said announcer number 2. Paragon stands up, then turns around. Dredd swings the steel chair. The steel chair goes into Paragon's stomach. Paragon groans. Dredd lays the steel chair onto the mat, then goes for inverted double arm underhook facebuster. Paragon pushes Dredd. Dredd stops, then turns around. Paragon dropkicks Dredd. Dredd goes into the corner, then groans. Oh man, that had to hurt, said announcer number 1. Paragon picks Dredd up, grabs his right arm, jumps up, then goes for an armbar. Dredd rolls through, then quickly rolls Paragon up. 1, 2. Paragon breaks the hold. 2, said referee number 4. Both Dredd and Paragon stand up. Dredd grabs Paragon's tights, then pulls him through the middle ropes. Paragon lands onto his feet outside of the ring, then climbs onto the ledge of it. Dredd bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then runs at Paragon. Paragon puts his left knee up. Dredd runs into Paragon's left knee, then groans. Man, that definitely could give you a concussion, said announcer number 2. Paragon goes through the middle rope. Dredd turns around. Paragon clotheslines Dredd hard. Dredd groans. What a clothesline, said announcer number 1. Paragon smiles, rolls outside of the ring, lifts its skirt, then pulls out another steel chair. Another one, said announcer number 2. Paragon slides into the ring, walks towards the corner, then places the steel chair between the top and middle turnbuckles. He's gonna ram Dredd's head into the chair, said announcer number 1. Paragon picks up the first chair, then looks at Dredd. Dredd pulls himself up with the ropes. Paragon is waving at Dredd, then swings the chair. Dredd turns, then quickly ducks. The steel chair ricochets off the top rope, then hits Paragon's head. Paragon drops the steel chair, then groans. Man, not many times you see that happen, said announcer number 2. Paragon is holding his head. Dredd sees the steel chair in the corner, stands up, grabs Paragon from behind, runs, then throws him into it. Paragon groans. Dear Lord, said announcer number 1. Paragon is kneeling on the turnbuckle. Dredd approaches Paragon, grabs him, picks him up, then does an inverted double arm underhook facebuster onto him. Paragon goes limp. That's it, said announcer number 2. Dredd rolls Paragon onto his back, then covers him. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell, said referee number 4. Bell dings. Here's your winner and still the Galaxy champion Dredd, said announcer number 3. Referee number 4 raises Dredd's right arm. Dredd raises the title. Wow, what a match, said announcer number 2. It might not have been a long one, but Paragon brought a little fight to Dredd and almost caught him twice, said announcer number 1. I would have been shocked if he won, said announcer number 2. We all would have been. But congratulations to Dredd for retaining his title. And we want to thank you folks for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye, said announcer number 2 waving. The end.